Alright, we are recording for... This is the second, right? Yeah, this is the second video in Just Cause 2. Such a fun game. So glad I give myself reasons to replay some of these just fun games. I do have news to talk about, only 3 things. Want to talk a little bit about the Serious Sam game that's coming up. I mean, it's more like I saw that news early in the week and I thought, oh yeah, I should put that on the list, and put it on the list, and I haven't thought to put too much else on there. PCIe 6 spec being released, and a piece of research from MIT that I think is fairly interesting. Alright, where... yeah, we can head up. Look on the Ular. Okay. Well. Something like that, anyway.
Got a message from Carl Blaine about you. The Scorpion, right? Well, I am the Sloth Demon. If you need a heavy drop or an extraction, I'm your man. You can contact me using the beacons you were given by Blaine.
Okay. We've already heard it say that. So, the Serious Sam thing, might as well start with that at the top of the list. Is...
Time to meet the criminal factions and make some new best friends.
Something like that, yep. So, yeah, it's sort of a surprise.
Okay, you get to know the factions real good, Rico. The Roaches are Panau's urban mob. They wear some, how'd I put it, very nice Italian suits while they cut your throat. The Reapers, well, they follow in good old Che Guevara's footsteps. For them, it's all about the land and the people, as long as it's their land and their people. Then there's the Ular Boys, a crazy jungle mob who plan to turn this island into a natural paradise. Meaning, no foreigners, no foreign goods and foreign pop music, dig? And careful, Rico. For sport that dies traitors with their mandows.
Okay. So yeah, Serious Sam...
This is Radio Panau, the voice of truth. So listen to it. Today, the President Panay administration issued orders to shut down the international gambling establishment Panau Falls Casino. In the fracas that followed, the Panau military was forced to intervene as dangerous foreign criminal elements took their native customs to the soil of Panau and attacked police officials with machine guns and explosives. A lone gunman, with ties to famous criminal organizations all over the world, is said to have caused considerable damage before escaping with one of the foreigners due for deportation. The police have issued a warning to the public close to the Panau Falls Casino, as well as an encouragement to report any suspicious activity in the area.
You done yet? Anything more? Anything? Okay. So yeah, Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
is a standalone expansion that's coming, and apparently the story behind it is Time Lock Studios? I think that's the name, but it's actually a community-made studio. It's a community team that they were working on an ambitious mod for Serious Sam 4, and well, Crow Team basically decided, hey, why don't we work with you on that and make it a full standalone expansion? So that's what it is. So it'll have 5 missions set in Russian landscapes for Serious Sam to, you know, obliterate enemies as he does. Is there anything else I noted on that? Okay, coming January 25th, and there's a discount for Serious Sam 4. Oh, I'm getting to drink water also. And I did put in a review queue request. I also put it in, by the way, for Dying Light 2. Was that this week or last week that I saw that post? Either way, I put that in. So, yeah, I may have a busy few weeks once I come. And I'm really hoping that... I think I did see that the quote for how long it'll take to complete Dying Light 2. I think they did say that, yeah, the, like, actual, like, doing all the missions and such is not that 500 hours. Which is good, because I always try to do all the missions. But, yeah, I don't really know, but I do understand why people are making fun of the whole... We don't actually need long games, we need good games. That just saying 500 hours isn't really a way to sell games.
Welcome. I am Sri Irawan, Chief of the Ulars. Panau is our birthright, and we are prepared to die protecting it. My group of warriors is always looking for help in our never-ending battle against the foreign devils.
That's what they tell me.
Indeed. Your reputation precedes you. They call you Scorpio. You are known to be a skilled gunman.
I'm known to get the job done.
But surely you're not here only to look for work, huh?
The truth is, I'm looking for an American.
An American, huh? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, a very dangerous American. With a big price on his head. People tell me you would be the one to know where to start looking for such a man.
Ah, but you flatter me, La. But of course I will have my people look. And in the meantime, you can work for me. Deal?
Deal. I'll do as I'm told and keep my mouth shut. You'll dig up anything on this American and ask no questions.
That sounds fair, Sir Dadu. Know this, Scorpio. We Ular boys ever strive for the shift of power on Panau. And what can generate more power than the fission of atoms, I ask you? We are currently not
Fusion of
far
atom?
from the Awan Chendawan nuclear power plant. It is a place that can provide its own with much power, in many ways. And soon it will belong to the Ulars. But my brave soldiers need your help to take over the power plant, La. Do this, and you will make me a radiant man, Sir Dadu. Let my people lead you there, Scorpio. Walk with the spirits.
Okay.
Your job is to get me to the inner plant. I will hack into their computer system and override the control codes from there. Okay, move out, you laws! And Scorpio, you make sure to keep me alive, huh?
Enemy located! All units attack on site!
We can't get past the entrance! Scorpio, find a way around and open it from the inside!
I'm still, like, trying to remember this.
Give him cover fire, brave Eula!
There. But, I mean, why just, you know, come in when I might be able to find something? I mean, he's safe over there.
I'm moving in.
Oh, anyway. Oops. Okay, I can't get that far away.
It is open! Come on, let's go! Take care of the guys in the towers!
Ow. Whoops.
Great! Now we can move on. They cannot stop us! This place will belong to the Eulers soon!
Come on.
More guys on the catwalks! Kill them, Scorpio!
I'd like to.
They have snipers! Deal with them, Scorpio!
Oop. There.
You got them! Eulers, move out! Listen, brothers, we are almost
Yep.
there. Keep fighting!
And that's actually where I'm going.
Scorpio, take care of the mounted gun! Good! Move on, brave Eulers!
Oops, wrong button.
This is the terminal. You have to keep me safe while I hack into the system. It will take a while.
Oh, I didn't realize those were not my guys. Wait.
Don't disturb me when I hack, you baskets. I get very angry. Not much longer now.
Requesting
Scorpio! 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 Scorpio!
I got it! The power plant is secured!
Awesome.
That'll come in handy.
And now I can take the time to clear things out. And that also let me talk about PC-86. So that specification has... Oh, wait,
Wonderful. You bring power to the Eulers, Scorpio.
I shall not forget your contributions.
Okay. Oh, wait. It's gonna do that. Which I think is just giving mission. Wait. I thought I already had that. Yeah, so the PCE 6 spec has been announced, which both does and doesn't have to mean anything. I mean, like always with any of these specs, it's going to be a while before there's any product realized from. So that's one thing.
Listen to me, Scorpio. I can help you upgrade weapons and vehicles if you are so inclined. Watch Sri Irawan. With his fancy talk and his high ideals, he'll get inside your head. But never forget, he is a Ular boy, and Ular boys grow up learning how to kill without passion. Be very, very careful around him.
And exactly as all of the prior PCI Express standards have been done, 6 does double the bandwidth of PCIe 5, which doubled 4, which doubled 3, and so on. Part about it's doing that is by switching to PAM4, PAM4, which basically the way signals have been sent over PCIe and, well, most electronic technologies is just there's a high and a low level that, well, there's a single level that if a signal comes in that's above that, it's treated as a 1. If it's below that, it's treated as 0. With PAM4, there's 4 levels. So that's a lot. You know, you can send basically 4 bits, and instead of binary, it's quaternary, I guess would be the easiest way to put it, for me at least. So yeah, it's able to send double the amount of data at a time because it's, you know, a larger alphabet, I guess would be another way to put it. Now, one catch to that is you're more likely to encounter errors with that because, you know, you now have these 4 different levels that you need to keep discrete. Like, I'm not sure, but I think that's part of, like, why you need to increase voltage when overclocking. That, you know, it's like, it's issues related to where the voltages fall, the voltage for 1, voltage for 0 fall, that you need to increase the voltage to help increase the distance, again, between the 0 and the 1. But if this was 4, it's going to get more complicated. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, there's finally PCIe 5 technology out there for consumers, and we're already looking at 6. But I'll be honest, I don't even know if 6 is going to come to consumer. Just the speed of it is so high. What value would it actually be for a consumer? That actually might be a vehicle, so I maybe shouldn't be shooting. Yeah, that's a vehicle, alright. Can I use it? Maybe I can? But it does seem like I've also already explored. Yeah, unfortunately, this one, it is a separate turret. Which, let me see, is that... Oh, that's right, it would... No. There we go. There are some where the turret is controlled directly by the driver. This isn't one. But yeah, so they did have to, and I wasn't able to read through the entire PCIe 6 spec, explaining like how they're achieving some of the error correction. But one thing that apparently is true for it that's helped is that you typically see the errors come in clusters. I was thinking that this so like if one bit ends up being flipped, causing an error, you can expect those that follow it to also be wrong. So by focusing on that, that makes the error correction.
Who call themselves the Eula Boys were responsible for the attacks on the nuclear power plant today turned out to be false, says a spokesman for the Panawan Nuclear Fission Research Group. There was no gunfire, he claims. It was only some engines backfiring.
Get used to that. That happens all the time. That everything that you do is given some kind of explanation for why. No, it's all fine.
More executions in the hinterlands yesterday. Bodies of more than 20 native troops have been found. The government suspects the terrorist and assassin known as the White Tiger to be behind this chaos and bloodshed.
Where did I... Wasn't that far away from the demounted gun. I hope it didn't despawn of it. It might have though. Yeah, because it should have been right here, right by the vehicle. Now, well. There we go. That wasn't it? I'm trying to get 100% before I move on. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't really think that PCIe 6 will come much to consumers, because I don't think that speed's going to be useful for consumers. At least not directly, and there might be the indirect muxing advantage. You know, where it's the CPU is PCIe 6, but then you have a muxing chip so that it you have double the number of PCIe 5 lanes, or even quadruple the number of PCIe 4 lanes. I'm not gonna be able to get to that. Yeah, I don't see the 256 gigabyte per second, because it was a capital B in the press release. And hopefully that they're doing that right. I mean, it's like that's insane. How could you possibly use that for a GPU? I don't think you really could. What am I missing? I mean, so that leaves storage. And it's like, okay, are you even gonna notice that speed? I mean, that is a very legitimate question that I think needs to be considered. That there is a point at which you don't notice the greater speed. I remember a while ago, like years ago, seeing a study that it was 10 or 15 megabit per second for downloads. That people don't notice it being any faster. Which always made it funny when the FCC was going to be like, oh, well, we're going to define broadband as, 25 megabit down what was required. And it's like, nobody notices it above that. So, above a level lower than that. So why are you forcing it to go higher? I mean, obviously for some things like downloading games, a higher speed is helpful. But for just normal browsing use, checking your email kind of stuff, how people use the internet 99% of the time, you don't notice it. And I think that we may have that with PCIe standard. That we are at a level with PCIe 5 maybe, or getting to the level where it's like, no, we're not going to notice that speed, so this is going to be helpful for server stuff, and so you will certainly continue to see the innovation there, but it might not really be realized anywhere else. I'm just going to go, I think. Because I am not finding anything that everything's blown up. Ow. Well, that wasn't very pleasant. I don't remember what it is you're able to, and what is you're not. And probably would be worth upgrading. Where is... Oh, it's down here, so it's going to take me a while to get to that. Alright, well, yeah, I'm just going to grab the helicopter. Yeah, I mean, with PCIe 6, I just don't know how much value that's going to end up having. Sorry if you disagree, or hey, it's always gonna be nice to have the fastest, but the reality is you don't need it that fast. Plenty of time. I just had a funny idea. Did I know I actually blew all this up? Yeah, that's blown up. Gun back, by the way? No, it isn't. What do I want? Yeah, let's just go straight to another mission. Seen the... Oh, yeah, I should also mention that before moving on with the PCIe stuff. So it's been 2 years since PCIe 5's spec was announced, and 4 years since PCIe 4. And I know I've seen some people talk about how, wow, that was fast that, we bailingly now got PCIe 5 products, and already PCIe 6 isn't out. PCIe 3 was inappropriately long. And PCIe SIG, the group behind the standard, acknowledged that years ago. That they allowed PCIe 3 to live much longer than they should. That it was supposed to be, just a 2-year cycle. So when they finally released PCIe 4, they wanted to fix that. To see what all's here. Sometimes I can see neat stuff. I was like, I'm going right by it. I saw it. I could see the things blinking. So why not?
Enemy
I'm here to do all of it, so... Whoops. Not really what I wanted to do. I might end up dying because of my own stupidity. Would you mind actually, like... Wow, that was super annoying. Oh, that's not good. Oh.
Let's finish this!
Come on, there we go.
Now you're gonna be sorry.
Alright. The mounted gun. It's the only way to capture bases. Oh, there you are. By the way, a little thing I remember, don't actually destroy those at a distance, because there's always a generator next to them, and it's a lot easier to find the generator with that still up. Okay, so the last thing I got is the MIT news, which is just, you know, kind of a neat thing. So they discovered, researchers at MIT discovered a peculiar quasi-particle, which a quasi-particle is not. It's where you have something that it together, well, that you can describe it as a particle. So that would be, for example, a Cooper pair, and they specifically use this in the press release as an example. A Cooper pair in a superconductor. So the way superconductors actually achieve the superconductivity is that electrons pair up. Even though they're normally going to repulse each other, they can actually end up combining, well, connecting to each other, bonding together. And this the interaction between them allows them to maintain their energy as they move, with very little resist to no resistance. Okay, where were those shots coming? Anyway, there we go. There you go. Okay. Whoops, I don't want to be near that. Alright.
It's a tough job, but somebody's gotta do it.
Alright, now let's... Although, hang on. Is that... Yeah, it is actually still there.
Sloth demon here. I can extract you to many locations all over Panau. To extract to a location, simply select its icon on the PDA.
Contact on my position.
I don't need that. Plus, it wouldn't help me because I can't get over there until I've already been there. So this quasi-particle is the is a pairing. This quasi-particle they discovered. Yes, that they discovered is the pairing, the bonding of of an electron and a phonon, which technically is already a quasi-particle. So a phonon is the quantum for vibrational energy, so that would be like just vibrations, but also heat. And it was actually discovered not that terrifically long ago. Like actually figuring out what is the appropriate quanta for this. It is still relatively new, but what they found is in this one material, this two-dimensional material that, when cooled properly, becomes antiferromagnetic. That means the spins of adjacent particles are opposite, so it shouldn't have a magnetic field then, because everything's canceling out. Whereas in a ferromagnet, they all align. What they found is that with this pairing, that you've got an electron and the phonon here. Well, the thing is, they are bound so tightly that if you manipulate one, you manipulate the other, and the phonon can be used to alter the structure and the magnetism of the material. So that means that they have a way, electrically and optically, because you can mess with the electrons using light, to influence the magnetic properties of the material at a very, very small scale. And I'm getting a drink of water before I start. Ah, that's better. So they discussed it in terms of like a magnetic semiconductor, but I also had mentioned
stealing government diesel for some time. I need you
thing.
to help us find out how much they know about it. Go to each of their
Data store.
research checkpoints, said Adu, and download the info off their computers.
I don't remember if I actually need to use this or not. It might be that I have. Although, well, now let me try with the helicopter, since it is, you know, faster. Actually, yeah, it can't require the vehicle, because you may decide to pick up an enemy vehicle or just another vehicle you find, and it also can be the case that, you know, the original gets destroyed. Is it this one or the
Scorpio,
sequel?
you are getting close. Enemy located.
where you I'm not gonna do well. I really need.
One down.
Okay.
Two to go.
There was something, now I don't remember what. Oh well. But yeah, it was still a pretty neat thing, even though it requires temperatures that I think might be a little bit colder than liquid nitrogen. I don't think it was far off, but it was cold. But it still is, you know, once you find the thing, that's when you can really start coming up with more ways to do it. Consider PCIe. PCIe 4 with the X570 chipset. Initially, the chipsets needed a fan on that because of how much heat that produced. They don't need that anymore. They've gotten better at that. Also, gigabit Ethernet is another example. Well, maybe not gigabit itself, but like the 2.5 gigabit and 10 gigabit. Those controllers initially, they needed, you know, like to be on separate cards. They couldn't be built onto a motherboard because they took too much power and produced too much heat. They were just too complex. Now, they're integrated into a number of motherboards. Even 10 gig, though that's not too common. But 2.5 gig, that you definitely use. I don't want to be standing. And that's why.
Over there!
Oop. Drat, I was really hoping that they would be carrying. That's not good. Well, that's awkward. Yeah, run. You do not want to stand near these things when you do that. There we go.
One less pipeline, one less problem.
I think those both have mounted guns. Perfect. Oh, yeah, there we go. Where is it? Ah, there it is.
Scorpio. You behave like a true Eula.
Not sure how much I want to consider that comment. I'm just going to clear this area out. And then I shall, you know, stop.
Move out, fighting!
And I have a feeling that I'm going past an hour. In fact, why don't I look? Because I'm... Oh, no. Wow. This game just goes much faster than it feels. Which is fine. I mean, I enjoy the game so much. And I'm definitely looking forward to when I do Just Cause 3 after this. They're just fun games. And I look forward to, hopefully there being a Just Cause 5.
Let's finish this!
Okay. Not entirely sure why that just happened. There's a reason I'm leaving those up for now. That reason would be that thing right there. I don't remember if this thing's able to turn all the way around. Goodbye. Oh, there we go. I know there's one over there, it just, you know, I had already destroyed what it may have been able to hit. Oh, you can go in if you want, but you're not gonna like the result. There you go. There it is. Alright. Actually, I need to this way. It's just so slow lugging that thing around, even though I will do it. Like, I know one of the times I've played through the game, I did in fact like lug one of these things around, even across the map at times. I mean, it's just so powerful. That's why I was so disappointed in the two sequels to the game, because they I think capped it at 500 shots, which is still a lot, but I mean, this is so much fun. You know, let me play the way I want to. Let me have the amazingly overpowered weapon that this is. I mean, it's not like it's really unbalanced either, because I mean, look at how slow you are, and the fact that you can't even, you know, move and fire at the same time. There.
There is a Christmas in this area.
There it is. No, come. Oh. I was hitting control, but that's... There.
Sloth demon here. The President's Purity Police have taken our mutual friend Carl Blaine. He's to be decontaminated, along with all other suspect elements on the island. Let's hope he doesn't get bleached out of existence.
That's a problem for another time. As in next week.
Enemy sighted! All available units, advance!
There we go. It was that handy that gave me a new one. I'm getting a drink of water while we go. But I will acknowledge it is unlikely that there's more for me to destroy here. That actually might be the last stop. This one... Yeah, I saw there was one over here. There. No, there is one more. I understand why it's percentages. I do wish they were more like, you know, just X of however many X of total. Oh, come on.
Enemy sighted! All available units, advance!
There you go. Damn 3-inch steps. Well, that reminds me. This is... Yeah, I think it's Just Cause 2 is the game that, at least on NVIDIA GPUs, I don't know if it's listed for the AMD GPUs, has, QSAA?
Chaos.
Is that what they called it?
Opposite of order, Scorpion. Someone bent on disrupting order will soon find that Panau is a veritable amusement park of chaos.
Thanks. Seems like, again, there's something I elected to destroy. But I don't know what. No, I didn't mean to fall, but it didn't hurt any. Crap, there was something crossed my mind to say. Exited my mind. I hate it.
No news yet on the intensive hunt for the White Tiger by thousands of soldiers and police. The White Tiger continues to cause havoc across the country. It is rumored that he now has many hundreds of followers, all brainwashed into believing his public boasts that he is a god amongst men.
I don't remember what the resolution is for the White Tiger. But a lot of this stuff, there are resolutions. A lot of stuff that they don't. Oh, I just remembered I did see some stuff talking about the 12 gig RTX 3080 and how basically, yeah, it's better performing than the 3080, not as good as the 3080 Ti. And why is Nvidia doing this to its consumers? It's like there's still people who want to get a 3080 since it launched and can't, and they're just further, dividing their products. And it's like, I mean, it maximizes their profit, and it does nothing to help the consumer. I know I ranted about it. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I know I ranted about it one of the times, but it's exactly what it is. It's a way for Nvidia to increase their profit. And while, yeah, they don't, it's a profit-making company. It's not like, they shouldn't be doing that. They should, otherwise they'd go out of business. But there's still reason why you do things that would benefit the consumer. Because if nothing else, it improves your status with the consumer. But it's, as I know I ranted about whenever it was, Nvidia also knows they don't need to. They don't need to care about the consumer. They've got the fanboy. And that will not change. It's possible there's also just something I need to interact with. I'm not seeing anything that I can call. I might just have to leave it for another time. Oh wait, no, I see the radar going on. Right there.
All units attack on site.
There we go. And let me also just go around a little bit. Why not? I got the helicopter. It's not the fastest, but it'll get me there pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia knows that they will always just sell their stuff because there will always be, at minimum, the fanboys to buy it, and the people that don't know any better, that don't recognize that, no, there is actual competition. With Nvidia, that they just assume that all the myths about AMD are true. It's going to make Intel entering the market somewhat interesting because there wouldn't be those myths around them. Not yet.
Rumors that the infamous White Tiger, terrorist and serial killer, has been seen in the capital have been denied by the chief of police. The White Tiger is a total fiction, the chief said today, and when he is captured, he will be executed without mercy. Also, rumors of rioting and chaos in the streets of Panau City today are completely false.
But yeah, it is a sad thing how corporations have changed so much. Because decades ago, there was a greater, at least, acknowledgement that you don't abuse your resources or abuse your customer. But it changed, where there became a much stronger focus on maximizing profit to shareholders. And it's like, yeah, by that metric, it's a good thing, but by other metrics, it's a terrible approach. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Intel does, because they're technically going to be a clean slate. There's not going to be the myths dragging them down like there have been for AMD for so many generations, for so many years. But it will also be interesting to see how AMD behaves, because, you know, that they are in such a stronger position than they once were. Like how they will react to Intel, how they're going to try to innovate as well with really the, you know, moving to chiplets, further refinements to the ray tracing, which that is still something that I do. Every time I see somebody talking about how, oh well, NVIDIA's ray tracing solution is so much better because, I mean, look at how it handles these games, whereas those games, these other games. So yeah, there's ray tracing, but, you know, you can barely even tell when it's on, and it has such a small performance impact. It's like, yeah, because we've gotten very good at doing the stuff ray tracing does intrinsically, but without ray tracing. So, do we need to be obsessing over this technology that is not as necessary as some people, especially NVIDIA, want you to believe? But it's also just, I do think it will be interesting, because based on those patents that were made public for AMD's ray tracing method, it is superior as far as not necessarily the performance, but the capabilities of their ray tracing, just how it can be controlled and therefore used for so many different things is more advanced than NVIDIA. NVIDIA's is sort of a black box. It's on there. It'll just do this stuff. AMD's, it can be can't quite decide what I want to do. But AMD's can be controlled by shaders directly. That's a huge difference. I think I've scanned over it enough to know that there's no pickups that I'm missing. So what do I need to blow up? Oh, that's it. That's it right there. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, about you make sure that you keep the antennas set up. Because sometimes you have something hidden, and the only way you're gonna find it is from the internet. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. What it was that initially got me talking about some of this stuff. I don't think it's actually going to be listed. But I also might be thinking of the wrong game. But I thought it was Just Cause 2. It might be a different one that has CSAA, which is... No, wait. Yeah, no, CSAA. Conservative Sampling Anti-Aliasing. And there's also... It's not just like 2x, 4x, 8x. There's also like 2x, 2xq, 4x, 4xq, things like that. I do talk about it in the Theory Statistics, the Aliasing Adventure, where it so it's a variant of multi-sampling where typically a single sample has like all the information of that sampling, but with this and AMD's EQAA do is they decouple them. So you've got some samples that have all the information, like everything you need to figure out the color at that point in the image. But you also have another sample that is just looking at the stencil. So it's just figuring out, are you inside or outside of an object? Which is what multi-sampling does to determine if it needs to bother with filtering the samples or not. Because if it finds that all the samples are within the same object, it's not going to filter any of them together. There's no reason to do that expensive work because you're not expecting there to be any aliasing within an object. You expect it just along the edges. That's part of the reason why, like fencing and such, where they use transparent textures, will still have aliasing even with MSAA, because these variants, because it doesn't see those edges within the texture as aliased. But yeah, EQAA and the CSAA both use additional samples for just determining if you are at the edge of an object or not. Those samples, though, are much easier to handle than full samples that have the full fragment information, all the coloring and such, all the information for the coloring. I think it was Just Cause 2. It might have been a different game, but it's just the image that I have in my mind is of it in Just Cause 2. I might be wrong though. It might be a different game. But yeah, that wasn't. Those were both interesting. EQA and CSCA both were interesting to look into, in part because AMD's was actually more expansive. So with CSA, it was like you had 2x, 2xq, 4x, 4xq, and then like an 8x that's actually identical to MSAA, but they just still called it CSA. Was something like that. I don't quite remember. I have to look at the article. Whereas with AMD, you had, it was, how did they do it? It was like 2x 4f? Was that it? I don't remember what the second one was, but it would be like 2 actual samples and then 4 of these additional samples that would, a total of 4 samples, so 2 additional, that were for the stencil. Are we inside or outside of an object? But what was so much nicer about AMD's was not only was the nomenclature so clear about what it was, but it also, you would have like 2 real samples and a total of 8 stencil samples was an option. You did not have that with NVIDIA. So you could do 2 and 8, also 2 and 4. There was 4 and 8. I think there was also 4 and 16 and 8 and 16. I don't quite remember, but I think that those also existed. So you had a much wider range of ways it was applied compared to NVIDIA's solution. I don't remember which came first, but it also is kind of irrelevant because they're both so rare today. What is it, Dirt Rally 2 that I saw EQAA still being used? But it's still, they're so uncommon today. And that's not even just MSAA itself is uncommon. No, that is that those 2 variants of it just seem particularly uncommon. But it's also, like TAA and its derivatives, SMAA, FXAA, those are understandably dominant because it's so cheap to implement, so cheap to run, while still being moderately effective. It depends on the method and the specific implementation. But it also, with ray tracing, you can't do MSAA with ray tracing because you'd have to increase the number of rays, which would choke your performance even more. You need to use a post-processing method, and variants of TAA are advantageous there because it can also be used for reconstruction purposes, the reprojection. So that way you are actually able to improve performance without sacrificing as much quality if you reduce the number of raisins. So, yeah. Kind of disappointing because, MSAA and SSAA are the better technologies for dealing with anti-aliasing. This video has definitely covered a wide range of topics, hasn't it? That happens with me, because sometimes I just start talking, start rambling about whatever. I can stop now, though. Yeah, just, I'll see you next week. I don't think there's anything that'll disrupt that. Although, see, January 25th is when that Serious Sam game comes out, the standalone expansion. So, potentially I won't be able to use it for the stream, of course, but potentially I will have that next week, so maybe I'll be working on that. It depends. Sometimes, you get a key early. Sometimes you don't. It varies. But either way, I'm looking forward to that. In part because I want to see what options are in the settings. I'm sorry, it's still... I'm still disappointed that in Serious Sam 4, when I turned on the variable rate shading, that it had issues, that there were graphical issues. Hopefully, maybe that'll be fixed in this. But even without that, it still is. I love that the Crow engine has such a wealth of options, including that. It's like having an RTX 2060 running 1920 by 1080 as the final output, but with 4x super sampling, and it actually being playable because you turned on VRS, and it's like it is a better image than the base, than without SSA and without VRS. It's like, that's amazing. And I'm just hoping that this will have a newer version of the Crow engine that'll have the visual issue that I encountered fixed. But maybe some other tweaks in there. It'll be really cool. It'll be really cool. I'm hoping, though. I got no idea. And hey, Dying Light 2 comes out in a few weeks too. That should also have some interesting technologies in there, I figure. I know it's got the ray tracing. It would be nice if it also had VRS. And some mesh shader stuff. We'll just have to see. I don't want to commit to, but I would be happy to do performance analysis for it at some time. We'll see. We shall see. I can't make plans. It's too far into the future. But it should be fun regardless. Alright, that is certainly enough rambling. See you next time.